Hey y'all, it's Kylee, the producer slash editor of Dear Jessamyn. So although this is actually an incredibly cheerful episode, I'm here for a bit of a content warning in regards to mentions of gun violence and school shootings. This episode was also scheduled to be released on Christmas of 2021 and didn't. So happy holidays. You're welcome.
Would you bow or curtsy?
I think I bow.
I would do like a little bit of both.
You would? Hell yeah. I was trying to remember how to curtsy. It's like, oh yeah, you have to do it.
You gotta tuck the one foot behind.
I do like a deep bow curtsy, like that.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's what it is.
Wow. I think I'm always like,
and then there's that big theater bow with the arms up, arms down, everybody go down, you know? Well, I'm having a great day, you can tell, because my brain.
I think it's great.
I think that's great.
This episode of Dear Jessamyn has profanity, sex talk, weed smoking, and a bunch of other shit that's just not for everybody. You also may not agree with the stuff we say or how we say it, and we think that's great. We promote cannabis medicine to people over 21. If you're not 21, come back when you are.
What I want to do to myself is selfish in the best way. My favorite
And make it go.
Are we recording?
We are, madam.
Hello, Ash.
Hello, my love.
How are you doing today?
It's a good ass day.
It is a good ass day. Man.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday were intros. They were biggins.
Remind me, what was? How do I have I?
You don't need to remember. I just remember them being a lot, and today feels like quenching. Like it's like the cascading waterfall, like the waterfall cascading.
Speaking of, boy, I have zero beverages. Where's my coffee?
Oh yeah, coffee.
JK.
What are you inviting in this week?
Well, I'm inviting in these beautiful stockings.
Oh yeah, holiday time.
Cause happy
Christmas
and other things to celebrate time. I myself grew up celebrating Christmas, so that's why I said that. Wow, what did you just say? What am I inviting in? There's this like very deep kind of love that is like the love for everybody and everything, that is like the acknowledgement that we are all love, and that loving other people is like seeing the love we're made of, etc., etc. It's the love that makes forgiveness what it is, you know, that it's like forgiveness is the tapping into compassion, forgiveness, all those things. I was at Planet Fitness this morning working out, and which is a huge part of why it's been such a great day.
Literally. Got
up early, did my thing, but there was a news story on about a school shooting that, you know, they're all just really, I don't typically watch the news, so whenever it's like on and I'm looking at it, it's like, oh wow, that's powerful. It's like, it's such a stimulus, you know, it's intentionally so. But yeah, what was up was this kid, this survivor who was at the school, it was in Michigan, and this kid was just being interviewed, and he was like, all I could think is I need to text my parents I love you. And I just started bawling on the treadmill. Right. Yeah. And I'm just like, it's just so important that like, there was something about like this person's youth that I was like, of course, that would be your first and only thought. But when I'm on airplanes, I'm really scared of flying. And when I'm on airplanes, I always imagine a crash, always. And in such a scenario, the only thing I would want to do is text you that I love you.
That's exactly right.
And, it's just interesting how universal that is, to be like, no. The last thing you need to know about me
literally
is that I'm connected to you. And I always will be.
Yeah.
And so I was just feeling that this morning, and I wish people didn't want to shoot people, you know?
Literally.
But Jesus. Especially babies. So that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm bringing into this Christmas, is just like wanting to forgive and hold in deep love all the people impacted by that, for sure.
You saying that makes me want to experience love as deeply as possible.
Totally.
Because of that.
Yeah.
I agree that life is just love. The whole thing of it. That's all it ever comes down to. And like, it's just all happening on purpose. Everything that happens in our lives. What I'm inviting in this week, I wrote down free spirit. Because I'm feeling a lot of freedom right now. And that's all I ever want in this life, really. Just to feel free. It feels very connected to the season. It feels like the reason for the season. We are not, it's not actually Christmas yet. We're in Sagittarius season right now. Totally. And Sagittarians are, well, Sagittarius energy to me feels like just like go with it. Like what Channy said, trust the process. Yeah. Like what does Sagittarius teach us to trust the process? Because they're just like, just do it, whatever it is, just do it. And like just go. And it's just such a, I love all the fire signs. Like I never appreciate it at all. And I am so appreciative now. Like Aries, the courageous leader, the one who says like, okay, hustle up. We're going to do this. We're going. It's cool. You got it. It's fine. We're standing in fire. It's great. Like, you love fire. It's fun. Yeah. Leo is like, I'm just so shiny. Like, we're so shiny. You're so shiny. I'm so shiny. Like, we're so shiny. And like, this is the whole reason, is just to be shiny. And Sagittarius is the one that I have never appreciated because in my mind, first of all, I do love centaurs. And
why?
I just think they're sexy.
Yeah,
like,
I think they're meant to be a little bit sexy.
They're very sexy. And but they're also scary. And they move with arrows and with a bow and arrow. And
people joke it's the only zodiac sign with a weapon.
Is literally with a weapon that they carry outside themselves. Everybody else has like,
sure.
Well, what is
that's whatever. Less memeable, Jessamyn. Come on.
Maybe I'll say something more later. But Sagittarius is the sign that I have not appreciated because in my experience, they've frequently been aggressive and scalding and caustic at times, and none of them are ever really interested in astrology, which I'm like says a lot to me. But I also this Sagittarius season, I'm so grateful for it. Like I just think that is something that I have a lot of difficulty remembering, which is just like, just go with it. Just do it. Just like go hard too. Yeah. The other thing about Sagittarians is that they can be very vindictive and violent in the vindictiveness. And it just is egregious to me. I'm just like looking at them slam somebody's head into the ground and like the blood is splattering all over us. And I'm just like, is this too far? Oh, it's too far?
It's a lot.
I never know.
Super violent.
That's what it feels like to me. And that they're doing this and that I'm just like, are you done? Like, are you good? Yeah, they're dead now. Thanks. Yeah, I got it. That was too far. But that's the nature of where we are right now as a people, is that life is really intense and scary. And the only problem is when people don't want to accept that and are committed to this narrative of like, no, things are supposed to be pretty and happy and good. And if they're not, then that's a problem. And I appreciate that Sagittarius offers the opportunity to just take it all in, but also that it's specifically the free spirit for me is just like there's just do it, you know, like just go, like that's your privilege. The freedom is your privilege. And I'm feeling free and it's nice.
I love that so much. I think the freedom is also your responsibility.
Interesting. Yeah, totally.
I think if the concept that no one's free until we all are is true, then taking that a step further to like what you and I talk about, like you're only responsible for yourself. There's this bridge for me that goes, therefore I'm responsible to my community and myself to get free so that we can all get free. Because like I'm gonna fuck around trying to get other people free and then not do that for myself, and then we all can't get free because I'm not getting free. You know what I mean?
That's the thing about it.
It's like recycling or something.
I think there's nothing that can be done that we're not doing to ourselves first. And like, especially with freedom, it's like if you're not free, how can anybody else be free?
How could you even know what freedom is?
The trick of it
love,
all,
freedom.
though, is that we're free always,
Hell yeah.
no matter what. That there's nothing, no one, there are no chains, external chains that can free us, like that we need to be freed from. But again, I mean, humans love bondage. Play the idea of being held.
Damn, this is a deep ass episode.
Is it? We were supposed to be talking about the L word this week, but we're not going to do that.
Because
We have had a lot of other shit going on. We're getting ready to go back on the road. We are driving to California. We're going to have to drive so much.
I got you.
We have to be in California by Thursday at the absolute latest because I have to work in LA on Friday.
Okay, let me just tell you, the last time I had to be from California to North Carolina fast, it took me a little under 3 days.
But
and I know that
you weren't hitching an RV.
The
What?
thing is, that's why those extra days are there, because of the RV.
Oh,
We'll
I
get
see.
there.
Oh, I get it.
Feel
Yeah,
me?
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally. Yeah, I feel
That's
you.
how I feel about it. That's why
I'm
so
excited by the
confident.
adventure.
Totally.
Going across the country has been a dream of mine since I was a kid, and my family did it. But it's been like we drove up the coast before, and like we both been to New England before, like driven in New England. It was not new.
Yeah.
I feel like it's rare to get to go across the whole country, and like we're gonna need to do it relatively quick.
Yeah.
I want us to try to get the state signs of where
Hell yeah.
we're
Okay,
where we're
good.
passing,
I'm glad you're saying that.
which means that we should try not to drive at night so that we can actually get them. But I mean, I guess it doesn't.
We're
really
trying not
matter.
to drive at night anyway, because I think I want to maximize like the 12 hours from 6 to 6
Totally.
every day.
Absolutely.
Whether we're driving the whole time or whatever. I said also I want to try to park in Planet Fitness parking lots, and we can just... I feel like Planet Fitness should want that from us.
I mean, literally.
And then... whatever that means.
Yeah, pop into Planet Fitness,
pop
work
in,
out in the morning,
take a
hit the
shower,
shower, then
jump
get back in
in
the
the
car
and keep push
keep
it on.
pushing
Push it on till
until
we can't no more.
Yeah, until we hit the ocean. So we're getting ready to do that, and just a lot has been going on in our relationship.
I was just reflecting the other day with you in a conversation about like why we are meant to be forever and ever. Amen. That like just that like we just a detail I love is that Christmas is our thing. And you were talking to a friend who was like, yeah, like Thanksgiving is my mom's thing. Like, it's like so important. And I was like, yeah, we have a thing and it's Christmas. So Merry Christmas. But also, this is only the beginning of our decorating that we will do. Because we do.
We can do. There's so much space for decorating.
There's so
here.
many things we're going to do.
We decorated the last couple years. Like we decorated at the old house.
Intentionally, like for the purpose of making community and love.
But yes, this is going to be our first Christmas in the RV. It's going to be our first Christmas on the road. It's going to be our first Christmas not in North Carolina together anyway.
Right.
It's going to be
Your first Christmas outside North Carolina, although you didn't really celebrate Christmas when you were younger.
Christmas was not a thing in my family. Like we celebrated it culturally, just like have a dinner on Christmas, go to family. Like it's a time of love and giving and thanks and shit. So like, you know, we're like friendly. But we didn't give gifts or anything like that. And so the last couple years have been my introduction to Christmas, and it's a very fun holiday. I think it's nice. It's just nice to be doing something nice, you know?
Totally. That's how I feel exactly.
I heard on 98.7 they said we're playing Christmas music all the time, and they said because honestly we could all use it.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, are you in a pandemic too? Okay, totally. Yeah, so that'll be nice. But we're doing it different because we're going to be going to California, and your new girlfriend, is that appropriate to say? Your new girlfriend is going to be a part of it to some degree. And that has been like no lie a point of contention for us. But it feels like I'm rounding a corner on that. It feels like so that I guess that means that we are rounding a corner around that.
Totally.
And
what's the corner?
The corner is that I was very much in my feelings about your new relationship energy with this person, and also because new relationship energy is just intense, like for everybody, all the time, anytime. And I think it's made more intense whenever you've like experienced new relationship energy and it's happening like right next, on top, in your bed, inside of you. It's happening all the time. and it's also happening while you and I have been deepening our relationship in a way that like I've never done when I'm like in partnership with someone else. Like when the relationship is transitioning. And evolving. Sure. Yes. When the relationship is evolving. Yeah. And we start to see more people, other people. Yeah.
Or like have connections with people that are deeper than a hookup or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
I've never been still having sex with my partner at that point. And still having sex like regularly. Yeah. But we are. Yeah. And we're also in this situation where we are. This is the most honest and vulnerable I've ever needed to be with another person. And it's brought on by living in such close proximity to one another and doing this work that is so densely layered and entwined. And it's just a lot. Emotional work. It's a lot of emotional work. And so the idea of being in a new place in California where I don't already have like established community at all. Not that I'm the most social person in the world, but like I don't have people that I can just be like, oh, I'm just gonna run up on your house. Like
you said that the other day, and I had to realize like I have exceptionally deep connections with people in Northern California, like 10 years plus, like family, queer, multiracial. My girlfriend was saying that like we were talking about the area that she lives in, and that like it seems that a lot of the communities are very segregated, which I was reflecting has been happening here in Durham over the last 10 years. And I've related it to gentrification, how like new people coming in, it's like our organizing community, our queer community in Durham always has been very multiracial, like intentionally so. And we're like organizing around multiracial issues. Like
Durham is very integrated. Yeah. Like more so than other places, I think.
Living, even like the neighborhoods are all really class integrated and stuff. Like the richest neighborhood in Durham is in the same neighborhood.
There's definitely a black side and a white side of Durham, but you think it's for sure.
What's the black side? What's the white side?
Where Central is like the black side, and then
that's true.
It's like the white side, and then especially like South Point is like the white side.
East Durham, and that's what's being gentrified the most right now. It was downtown.
That's exactly right.
Now it's east.
Yeah, because East Durham is being gentrified, I think it's making it seem more integrated. But it's
no. That's not what I'm talking about, though. Yeah. I'm talking about like Lakewood, Tuscaloosa when I was growing up.
Was integrated?
Yes.
How interesting.
Extremely. Yeah, totally. And that part, that's been slowly sort of taken over by just like white families. As just like everything. Where do they all come from? I mean, that I think is the biggest question I have. Where do all the white people come from? When you grew up, I grew up in a black city. And so I think of it as a black city. Durham was a black city. Every time I left Durham and was still in North Carolina, I would go to softball camp, for instance, in Boone at Appalachian State. And people would be like, you're from Durham? One person literally said to me with her mouth, have you ever been shot?
No, and I was like, believe it. That was definitely the reputation of Durham.
Right. And it was because we had a black middle class, a thriving black middle class since forever. NC Central, it doesn't matter. The history of Durham, et cetera, et cetera.
It could be its own episode.
Google it. No, yeah, it should be. I love that town, man. Anyhow, I don't know what I was saying.
You and your girlfriend were talking about
segregated, integrated.
That was incredible that you remembered, because I didn't. I did also just want to say that what you were saying about white people healing together, basically, feels like so much of why you're with your current girlfriend. It feels like y'all have a lot of with your white girlfriend. Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of that can happen that is really fascinating.
White people healing together stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, y'all can cry together about shit, like, because I'm like, white tears, I think about it, and I'm just like, I'd rather not, you know?
And you know what? I'd rather not around you, as it turns out. You know what I mean?
Yes. This is really the point of polyamory.
For literally every reason.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there is, to the point of integration, there is great benefit, I think, in hearing and hearing and knowing about the experience of someone else. But at the end of the day, there's stuff that you can talk about in community that you cannot talk about out of community. Right. And you have that with a lot of different things in your life. Totally. I have that with a lot of things in my life. I have a black partner.
I was like the same
has literally the same. We come from a very similar background,
region,
literally
class background, similar, different, a little bit different.
Their parents are like older than mine and make more money.
Yeah,
so different for sure. Yeah, definitely different. But I mean, religious, black, Southern, queer, specific, the same exact area of the state. So I feel you completely about having someone who like gets it, you know.
I found myself at one point, there was a lot of me not talking to friends and just like hanging out with you and stuff. Just like it's weird to talk about. Whatever. However people feel about what I'm about to say, I don't really care about. But because it's just my truth. But yeah, it's like there's a lot sometimes that gets pent up, I think, in when I'm only hanging out with you or you and your other partner, or that like I just feel like there's like a responsibility I feel like I have socially, you know what I mean? To make sure that the way that I'm speaking is like in line with my values all the time. Because I'm impulsive and I'll just be saying stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I just feel like there's an onness or something. And maybe it's more about like, I'm thinking more that it's about being around your other partner where I get a little bit stressed out. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't want to offend this person or something.
Oh no.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like they're already like, man, why are you in my house? Which I'm like, I feel you, bro. I do feel that. I feel like I just adore them. I mean, it's so funny.
Thank God.
Because I just think they're the best, and I think they're kind of
that
like
about you too. I think they do.
Do like
they just don't. It's just hard. But it's all this. It's all this. I can very easily be like, yeah, I don't want to hear from your girlfriend. I don't want you to talk about her at certain times. Like, I don't want to do this, that, and the other thing. And it's all my fear of not being worthwhile. It's not loving myself, not believing in myself, thinking that if you don't love me, if you don't see me as beautiful, if I'm not your number one, then like, who the fuck am I? Like, it's all of that, But I mean, I feel like that's the reason people aren't poly. Like, they're like, I do not want to think that this person does not want to be with me and only me. And I'm like, I fucking feel you. I feel you. Yeah. Like, I too would seek that. But the reality is that I'm going to do what I'm going to do at the end of the day. And that's it, ultimately
what song are we listening to that says that?
Oh my God. What more can I say? It's Anderson .Paak.
He
says, I keep trying to tell you, you can't keep me on a leash. No matter how hard you train me, I'll do what I want in the end.
Yeah, that's it.
He also says, though, no matter what broad you're banging, you know who you love in the end.
That's right. Oh, yeah. No, come on. That's important. I think both of those sentiments in tandem really, yeah.
But I also think that there's like in that sentiment of like what broad you're banging, I think that there's a subjugation, is that the right word? It's like there's this idea of like that person doesn't matter.
No matter what this texture that's being added to our relationship is, I feel like we always end up being like, yes, I love you. No, I don't want to break up. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I can get over that thing that I didn't like at first. Like, you know what I mean? We're just sort of like, I love that. Even when we stumble dancing, like we just gracefully finish, you know what I mean? And take a bow. Would you bow or curtsy?
I think I bow.
I would do like a little bit of both.
You would? Hell yeah. Do you still have the weight?
I have it here. It's for you. Right. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, your pattern, teledipity, and maybe not co-star. Channy.
Yeah.
right?
I don't know what she's saying. But yeah.
All those hoes have been saying to you that the next 3 months,
yeah,
right? Or till March, that you're going to be in a very uncertain time where you shouldn't think you know what's going to happen from now to March, which we will just point out is where we sort of landed, still up for change always, where we sort of landed about like how long we may stay in the next place we're going. Correct me if any of that's different than what you know. Okay. Yeah. And so do you want to talk about why February or no?
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Okay.
Just a really big thing is happening in February that perfectly aligns with us being in Northern California. It's kind of crazy, actually. Totally. I found out about it a long time ago before we decided to be in Northern California. And I am not committed to being in Northern California for that whole 3 months because I feel like there's a lot of California to see.
Totally.
And I'm not that interested in Oregon or Washington. Washington mostly because it is
white people land. Yeah,
it's just very expensive there. Like in Seattle anyway, it's very expensive. So I don't know what it's like in the other parts.
But like, isn't like the whole Pacific Northwest, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, I've never actually been there, isn't like the frontier space where it was just like there were like literal laws that only white people could live there?
It was white land, literally.
And still, there's so much weird fucking intense. Like, make it make sense that people fly the Confederate flag up there. Make that make sense. What? Make it make sense to me.
You are so funny. You're blocking out the truth. Is this what y'all do in your white healing circles?
Fuck up.
I'm just wondering because I'm like, bitch, you know what that's about? White supremacy has no zip code. Are you joking? What the fuck? What are you talking about? Like, I'm so confused. I'm offended. You can leave.
Okay. Finish the weed.
I think that Oregon has no sales tax, so I enjoy that about Oregon. And there's white people everywhere. And I would go to Oregon for cheap weed.
The question remains.
But my thing about Northern California is that it is not as warm as Southern California, and I would like to spend some time in the parts of California that are warm.
I thought you were going to say the parts of California where you could have your ass out.
Those are the exact parts of California that I'm thinking about.
That's what I thought.
I would like to be a deep
ass out winter.
Precisely. And I just don't know if that's a thing in Northern California in the same way. I do want to go to Santa Cruz. I want to spend time in Santa Cruz. I want to spend time in Oakland. I would love to see just all the different redwoods, like the different types of redwoods everywhere. I want to see the chandelier tree. I want to see, there's just a lot to see up there.
You better believe it.
I really want to go to, excuse me, just like other parts of California that I've heard about, like Lake Tahoe, that's in California.
Oh, yeah. I want to see Tahoe so bad.
Right. Joshua Tree.
Yes.
Palm Springs.
Totally.
All this shit in the center, I would love for us to maybe rent a car and drive down the coast.
Baby.
There's so much that I want to do that is not about being in Northern California.
And me too.
Yeah.
I do feel a little more clarity in my heart now that I would love for that to be a bit of a home base, though.
That makes sense to me.
You know?
Yeah.
You said to me, that you were having all these hard feelings about us going to California so fast, just indefinitely deciding indefinitely we're going to be in Northern California, all these things.
Literally.
And you were like, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be on an adventure with you. I thought you wanted to be on an adventure with me.
Yes. And
so ever since you said that, though, it's just been like I feel it on my skin. It's on the tip of my tongue. It like tingles my hair follicles. Like I'm on an adventure with you. I want to be always on an adventure with you. And you asking that is helpful and important because it helps me answer it. And the answer is yes, period. I'm on an adventure with you and that's what I want. And so when I get distracted or pulled or when I start to believe that things are mutually exclusive, that's just me not taking care of myself, basically. Scarcity creeps in and I let it live and breed, inside me. And that's just not, when I do all the things like today, it's just so much easier to be like, oh, I know what my life is. I know what my adventure is. The other thing is like, it's just about knowing abundance. It's just about like believing that if I want to see my girlfriend regularly while you and I are on an adventure, I can do that. I can do that. Like there's no reason that I can't do that. And the other thing is that if you and I end up changing what we want, I still, the way we want it, I still am on an adventure with you. And that only you and I get to decide if that's true. And so I just thank you for saying it and posing it that way. Thank you for being fierce in your, and relentless again in your sticking up for us. Because I know it doesn't always come out to me that way. But you really are just, it's like when you constantly are offering me weed when I'm having like a really freak out, like long-term panic attack. And we're driving from Vermont to North Carolina or whatever. You're like, smoke the weed. And I'm like, no. And you're like, smoke the weed. I'm like, no. And you're like, come on, baby, smoke the weed. And I'm like, no. It's just like that. I feel like you're just fighting for the good, you know? I know somebody who has "Go for the Love" tattooed on their forearm just to keep remembering, like, what's your job right now? What do you need right now? What's happening right now? So you're going for the love. And I feel like similarly, you're fighting for the good in us. And I'm always so grateful.
I double down on investments. I feel like I'm invested in us.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I believe in us. I've read the astrology around us. I feel very... The work that we do feels so important. Not just the work that we do in the world, but the work that we do inside of ourselves and together.
Totally.
It's deeply healing. It feels like we're healing generational trauma. And I don't know about I don't even know. I have questions about healing. But I think that you push me in ways that I am grateful for. And I'm just, that's almost as far as I can take it in terms of like responsibility. Because if I don't want to be pushed by you anymore, which there have been times recently where I've been like, do I want to be pushed in this way?
Totally.
And the thing is, I do.
Yeah.
I need to be. I'm grateful for it. I've been practicing for this. Like, but we are on an adventure together.
Yeah.
And there was a part of me that's just like a little girl who's like, you don't want to be on the adventure with me anymore.
I'm glad you asked. That's what I'm saying. Because the answer is I do. And am, and never stopped, and don't want to stop. And I feel like I'm still standing on the porch watching you walk away from trying to kiss me that very first time. Being like, she wanted to kiss me? She wanted to kiss me?
I was playing so many games.
I played that wrong! Come back, I want to kiss you too. You know?
Are you talking about that first time? Oh my God. Do you have an astro thought of the week?
I did want to talk about Sagittarians really quick. So I spent my 20s really pretty sure that I knew to only want to love a Cancer sun. You know? I'm so glad you were in the mix. Fell in love with you in my 20s. Started dating in my 30s. And then now, though, in my 30s, exclusively Sagittarius. I don't need anything but a Sag. I hope I'm not offending anybody. I really am just like so drawn to them. So our threesome hookup, our regular fuck buddy, we could say, Sagittarius. My girlfriend is a Sagittarius. Amber, the queen of my professional life and my heart. I love that person. I've known her for so long, and she's just such an incredible human being. Is she not?
Amber is an incredible human being. Like,
thank you,
glistening,
Amber.
gleaming being.
Happy Merry Christmas. Sagittarius, just Sagittarius. And you know, I'm just here for it. And I think part of it is like, I'm intense. I'm a really intense fire sign, a lot of trauma. And I feel like a Sag can really be like, yeah, bitch, who's not?
Literally.
You know? And so I'll take it.
It's really good.
I'm glad you see it too now.
No, I love it. Erica Hart is a Sagittarius. Oh, yeah. She is a favorite of mine. Absolutely. I appreciate that she is so... She said one time that she doesn't understand people ghosting, like, via text. That we had this whole back and forth about it, because she was like... What?
She said, you're the type of person to ghost.
Yeah, and well, the way that she was talking about it, I was like, wow, you're really giving me a new perspective about this as a person who goes. Yeah, yeah. She was like, no, you are a type of person who goes. And I'm like, Yeah, because you're just kind of like, I mean,
You just move on.
you know what's up. Like,
Yeah.
What is silent? What do
The
you think
silence
silence
is the
means?
answer,
I'm
her.
wondering.
You taught me
But-
that. I don't know if I buy it. Go on.
But she's just like, why wouldn't you just say it? And I'm like, you know what? That is a really good point. Because everybody can't read your mind. And my thing is that I don't think words are always necessary. Like, I don't think, and I think
Same.
words are really limiting.
Technically, right.
But sometimes words are all you have.
Right.
And so it's like, you could just use them. It's not a big deal and it's not personal. I always fear the outcome. I fear hurting people. Sagittarians are like, they be all right. Next lifetime at a minimum. Like, you'll be fine. I'm just saying,
No,
they
you're
are
right.
so violent. I think they're the most violent of all the...
I need it.
I do too. I love it. It's so good. Man, raise your hand if you think the Sagittarians are the most violent of the zodiac.
I thought you were going to say like the hottest.
Is that right? I enjoy a Gemini.
Your ex,
it's why people hate
Erica
Geminis.
Hart,
Who?
my girlfriend,
Oh,
all
yeah,
these
that's true.
people, they're some of the hottest people I've ever
Everybody is hot.com.
That's true. That is absolutely
Everybody
true.
is hot.com.
That's true.
.tumblr.com. .tumblr.com. There's some that I can't with. Anyway, okay, cool. You ready to go?
Yeah, baby.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
Bye. Dear Jessamyn is produced by Tenderfire Media. For more on our show, follow us on Spotify and Instagram at Dear Jessamyn, or head over to our website, dearjessamyn.com. If you're an Apple Podcast person, you can subscribe to our show, and while you're there, write us a review. They really help us out a lot, and they give you a place to let folks know how you feel about our show. Here's our team. Kylee C. Roberts is our editor/producer. Angel Foster and Nia Williams do our social media. Janie Leopard draws our art, and Fruit Snack plays our theme song. Montez Mickles is our director of production. Anna Rooney is my chief of staff. Amber Richardson is Ashe's chief of staff. Ash Danger Phoenix is my co-host and co-producer. And I am Jessamyn Stanley. And we believe that no one should be in jail for weed.
Tenderfire.
Drop page.
Hey, Jessamyn, I just wanted to take a moment with you
Yeah.
to say that every time is a great time to be thankful for something. I just want to say thank you so much for making everything possible to our team, specifically Kylee. What is there even to say? You are a Christmas present every single day that we get to work together. And Nia and Angel, I'm just like, I don't get to work with you as closely, but it feels important to say like what an impact, what amazing impact you've had on the show and the team in general. Do you want to say some?
Yeah, I mean, I want to say thank you to everybody. Everybody. There are so many bodies that make this show possible.
Totally.
Like, so many people who maybe they don't even think that they're making the show possible, but they are. And I just feel indebted to everybody. And I feel like it's a blessing to be able to do this.
Totally.
And specifically with the people who work on this show.
Yeah.
Like, each of them is like a little jewel. It's
Absolutely.
amazing to me that Nia's handle is Gemini, which I just think is like the best handle ever. I love it so much. That's her TikTok. You should follow Nia on TikTok at Gemini. They're all gems though, you know,
Yeah, they're
like
amazing.
an angel is like an actual fucking angel.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
Literally.
And every day I am just so grateful. And I say it all the time that Kylee is a Pisces and like knows what's good, because we be out here on emotional
Yes.
rampages that other astrological
It's a
signs would not
it is.
understand. And I just think that the Piscean energy is so necessary. And I can only imagine that it's also hard to hold at different times. So I'm grateful that it's brought over here. And also everybody who has worked on this show that has moved on. Melody, Chaz, who the fuck else? I can't remember.
That might be it.
Fruit Snack.
The band.
Thank you. Janie in the shadows always.
Yeah, always lurking.
I hate that I may have forgotten somebody, but
Anna and
Amber, why are their names both with A's?
It's easier to remember. No, it's because it's
Totally.
leadership energy.
Literally,
They
big
fucking
A.
rule. You got it.
Yeah, totally.
J names too, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mostly just like also I want to say thank you so much to everybody who listens to this show really regularly.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody who's written us a review.
Oh my God, reviews. People engage with our stuff, share our stuff. Like y'all, you don't even understand. It'll be a bad day and y'all will like send something on Instagram and tag us. And I'm just like, thank God.
Literally.
Because I just, I love the connection, but really it's amazing to be able to impact people.
It's amazing to just be able to connect with people and not feel alone. The number of people that are like, thank you for doing this show because I feel less. Somebody wrote the other day because I feel less alone. And I'm like, bitch, you're helping me feel less alone right now. Thank you so much. Like, thank y'all so much for taking the time to listen every week to us being ourselves. It means a lot.
This can be a really, really, really hard time for folks. And I want to say, it feels really important to say, you're not alone. If you need anything, reach out. Asking for help is strength. Why am I so emotional?
Because asking for help is strength.
Yeah.
Our communities are wealth.